Hey, hope you're doing well. And if you read the title of this video, in this video I'll be going over how you're able to become a content creator. So maybe watching this, you are currently a content creator, or you're not, but you kind of want to go in that industry and start doing that. How you're able to be a content creator, essentially just have your dream life, your exact life that you want to be having. So your day to day, and I say this, maybe you're not actually satisfied with currently what you're doing. You kind of want to make that transition, which a lot of people do. And essentially it's a really good aspiration for you to do so. But essentially in this video, I'll be talking to you about how to become a content creator and have your dream life around it, right? So yes, become a content creator is one thing, but how are you able to set it up and do the right systems and do the right things on a day-to-day basis to be able to have your dream life? Now, dream life doesn't mean millions of dollars, but dream life just means being able to do whatever you want on a day-to-day basis, and that can vary for so much people. So I'm not going to say exactly what the dream life should look like for you, but I'll just be saying exactly how you're able to achieve it while being a content creator. Now, it's important to know that how are you actually able to do this? How are you able, and how are other people in the industry able to be a content creator? So creating content on whichever social media platforms. And misconception is that you have to be have a lot of followers, which isn't true, which is something I go over in other videos as well. But you don't have to be that popular. But how are people actually able to do so? Because when you're a content creator, you're able to gather attention. Where essentially, if you know anything about how the industry, how everything online is moving, and what the true currency is nowadays, it's attention. If you have attention, if you have 100,000 followers compared to having, let's say, $50,000 in the bank, most people easily just choose $50,000 in the bank. But if you have 100,000 followers of the right audience that you can help and create something and sell it to them, that $50,000 is absolutely nothing. So attention is super valuable in this marketplace, and this is essentially why content creators that you're seeing on your feed, or huge personalities, are actually able to leverage that attention, which essentially is super valuable, and actually turn it into their dream life. Now again, you don't have to be one of those huge personalities where everybody follows them, they have millions of followers, and that's the only way you'll be able to gather attention to have your dream life. Like I just mentioned, it actually can be as simple as 10,000 followers, right? Now you might seem this is really small, but doesn't matter, especially if you're selling the right thing to the right audience and you're helping them with achieving a specific result, which I'll go over later. That's all you need, and you'll easily be able to have your dream life. And this is from experience. There's a lot of people in the space with just only a few thousand followers and are able to have their dream life from it. So super powerful. Again, having attention is really the new currency nowadays. And if you're able to garner that, and I'll go over essentially how you're able to essentially just gather that attention, you're able to have what you want in terms of career, in terms of full-time job, whatever that may be. Now, before you embark on this journey, or maybe you are someone who's already creating content and you're saying to yourself, well, there's nothing really I could sell in order to make that income, right? Because essentially, if I'm talking to you this, you essentially know that to make these kind of revenues, you have to sell something to your audience. That's essentially the way you'll be able to do things. And I go over this in other specific videos, so you can check out my channel and see how they actually do that. But essentially, for those who think that their passion or their skill, or maybe they don't even have a passion or skill, how they're able to turn that content creation into something that they're able to have their dream life out of, you definitely have to have some kind of knowledge that other people don't, right? Essentially, if you completely know absolutely nothing, then the only really way you'll make money as a content creator is becoming very popular. That's the way. If you're really not good at anything and maybe you just make people laugh, then that's probably the way you'll make money online, right? Just by becoming really popular and then having brand deals and stuff like that. But essentially, that's not the way you want to go about it, because you don't want to have to grow a huge audience, and that probably takes years, and you don't want to do that. What you want to do is focus on what you're really good at, whether it's a passion of yours, whether it's a skill of yours, an expertise of yours, you have a successful career, you want to teach others. It really doesn't matter. Anything that you're really good at does have a market for it. And if you're able to get attention for that specific thing online in whichever platform, there's the different platforms for different scenarios as well. But if you're able to garner attention through that specific thing that you're really good at, that's all you need to be able to create an infrastructure where you're able to sell to that audience and make money with it. And you may be asking yourself, well, I don't think other people would want my help or want my passion or want my skills on a specific topic. And that's completely false. If you have a skill in a specific area or knowledge in a specific area, or even a passion in a specific area, there's definitely others online who do have that passion and do want to learn from it, and that's what they do. That's what maybe they spend most of their time on. And if you're able to help them out with that because you already have those skills and expertise, and if you're just able to help them out with that, people who are out already looking for help. If you're really good at something, there's other people looking out for people like you to be able to help them. So it's definitely possible. So you have to keep in mind that these people are not only out looking for help, but they're ready to invest in your help, to get coached by you, to kind of be a part of whatever you're building, right? And there definitely are. And again, I can say that because I am in fact in the industry of online education, so I see what other people are creating in every single niche out there of people just simply helping others. There's a market in every single niche out there. So whatever you're really good at can be transformed into one of these. So that being said, once that you know that there is an actual market for it, and the only thing you really have to do is get attention to be able to sell to people. The only thing you really have to think about is how you're, in your position exactly, are going to package it and offer it in a unique way from others. Because of course, there's a competition most likely within your niche. A great example of a highly competitive market is fitness. It's not like 10 years ago when you would be online and help someone with getting a six-pack and people would pay you. Now it's a bit more complicated than that, so there's a lot of competition in that niche. That being said, there's definitely a lot of other niches that are less competitive and that you can take advantage of, but you can still enter these super competitive markets. It's just a question of creating something that is unique to you and something that helps specific types of people. This can be really, really specific. A lot of great programs only target a really specific customer, and essentially that allows you to really target those specific people, and they'll be way more inclined to buy whatever you're offering. So again, to kind of recap, if you're able to identify what your skill, passion, expertise is that you can help others, and maybe others have asked you about it to help them. If you're able to identify that, then you're able to gather attention, like mentioned. Attention is the new currency, to any kind of social media platforms by posting consistently and a whole bunch of stuff that I go over in other videos. If you're able to do those two things, and create something that is unique and again targets specific people in a specific niche or market, then all these three things essentially all you need to be able to have your dream life as a content creator. Now there's also strategies if you don't want to go down the route of creating a whole bunch of content and spending a whole bunch of time without seeing any returns. There's definitely some ways to actually speed that up through advertisements. So usually you'll find it through Instagram advertisement to actually speed up the whole process, and it's actually one of the strategies we use for people who want to get started but essentially are a bit lacking on the content side of things, or maybe they only have a few pieces of content and they're looking to do that transition, right? So Instagram ads and other types of advertisement can be a really good way to speed up the whole process, to be able to help others online. And I'll just go over quickly how you're able to get the attention side of things, because I feel like for a lot of people that's what they're struggling with. Maybe they're posting content, nobody's seeing it, or maybe they want to get started, but they know it's going to take a lot of time to reach a lot of people. And I completely understand that. And the reality is there's a lot more people come into this industry of posting content. We see a huge spike in content creators every single year. So I can understand the overwhelming feeling about doing absolutely everything and posting content and putting yourself out there can be hard, but there are certain specific strategies to overcome this, where you're actually just not trying to guess and actually just posting content mindlessly. You have an actual strategy and you know what kind of things to post and essentially what things to do to be able to, as soon as you get people interested, to sell them on your offer, right? Because that's what you want to do. You don't want to waste any time posting content and not making any money from it, because posting content and doing every kind of things like that does take a lot of your time. So you definitely want to have a good ROI on your time and not just waste your time, right? And this is pretty vague because getting attention through any kind of social media platforms can be, I can give you 1,000,001 tips, right? And essentially it's all going to be a bit different and depends on you, it depends on your niche, it depends on so many things. So I'm not going to tell you to just basic stuff like post on every single social media platform and stuff like that. But something I will tell you, and something that is more tailored towards creating something that you're able to sell. So creating content essentially that is able to sell and have your dream life. It's essentially just to create valuable content. You're good at something. If you're able to showcase that through any of your social media platforms, especially YouTube. YouTube is a great underrated platform that I don't see a lot of people going into. They think TikTok is the only way to go. But essentially TikTok, you have a lot of people watch your content really, really quickly and they kind of scroll past you. So I would personally recommend, if you're just starting out, this depends if you're starting out or not, but YouTube is a really good platform to start off with. And essentially in these videos, whether it be on YouTube or the others platforms that I talked to you about, you want to just be showcasing what you've learned throughout the years of your skill, expertise, or passion that you recognize in the first steps. So whatever you recognize it about, start talking about it. Start talking about your journey about it. Start talking about the ups and downs. Start talking about everything you've learned throughout the years. Start talking about your journey. What do you do on day-to-day life? Tips and tricks on it. Anything that's related to showcasing that you are pretty good at something and you have knowledge on it is the best type of content that you should be focusing on, essentially to attract people who are interested in getting your help. And again, this process can be sped up if you want to pay your way in. So essentially what you'll do is just pay for advertisement, pay for essentially people to come on your page and recognize what you do. And in that case, you can scale things pretty quickly. But again, if you're just starting out and you want to be able to do content creation full time and essentially sell your help and your knowledge online, and you want to do it for essentially basically free, then social media platforms are essentially what they are there for. But then again, if you're ready to pay your way into it, you've got some money, then ads are definitely a good way. Now, if you're looking at this and you do have some kind of following, right, already kind of following, maybe a few thousand, if not tens of thousands of followers, if not hundreds of thousands of followers, then there's no reason that you should just be able to convert that into creating something that helps other people online and therefore makes you real good money so you can have your dream life, right? There's no reason for that you couldn't do that. This is more targeted towards maybe the people who are really small and they want to pay their way into things, right? So now that you've followed every single step that I just laid out, you have attention, you have an offer, you're able to help people in, you're ready to enroll people in and help them, right? Now that may seem just simple the way I said it to you, but essentially you have to now do all the boring stuff, which essentially is the business side of things. So how do you actually convert people, what your marketing strategy is gonna be, the tech side of things, so how to set up the actual platforms, right? And this is the part where I'm not gonna go in depth on this video. I've made kind of similar other videos about it. But that's essentially the most boring part, and the part you just need knowledge that you may not have to be able to make this work. So to have your dream life as a content creator, again, that's the only two things, like I just mentioned, that you have to have nailed down. And the fourth thing essentially is the business side of things. And essentially you can go about finding everything out by yourself and figuring out the business side of things, the marketing side of things, the funnels, and how to actually convert people into being interested in you and actually buying your program. But I'm sure that I'm hearing all this is something that is making you a bit overwhelmed about the whole process and you maybe don't want to do it anymore. But for that reason specifically, if you are someone who has an audience online or wants to get started selling their help online, then essentially this is exactly what we do. I have an agency that helps people do exactly that. Whether you're someone who's popular online or someone who is but not really, just posting content, be able to actually create, so build, launch, and scale their very own online program or course, helping out their followers. So if that's any of interest of you, I would love to talk about the whole process and how it can work. You can also see a video I've linked below on exactly how to get started and if we're a good fit to work together. So if that's of interest of you can check out that video specifically. And if you have any questions for me or about the whole process on how to maybe have your dream life as a content creator, you can DM me through Instagram and I'll essentially show you everything there. So that's kind of it for this video. Hope you enjoyed and I'll see you next time.